One. What's up, guys? StudFit here. We are back for a third and final award ceremony with some of my very good friends. The Best of Mario Kart Tour award ceremony featuring Carlos85, Sammy D, and of course my sidekick here, Antilev. Welcome, guys.
You're my sidekick.
How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Good.
Doing great.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year almost. And,
Yeah, Happy New Year's Eve.
and happy last video, StudFit. This is huge.
Well, I couldn't imagine a better way to go out with than with you guys, my good friends. And this was something that we did, I guess now 2 years ago. Had a blast, and so I'm excited that this gets to be the opportunity to go out on top with you guys. And it's an honor to have shared the screen with you both, all three of you, and especially for Antilev for the last 2.5 years or so. It's been quite a wild ride. It's been something that I was not expecting to be doing, but the game has kind of put the meta on ice forever. So with that being said, it's been an absolute pleasure to be hanging out with all my friends, all the viewers, all those people who are watching the stream right now on New Year's Eve. Welcome, and hopefully you had a wonderful 2023. As we go into 2024, there's different constrictions we put on ourselves, New Year's resolutions or whatever it might be. And for me, it's YouTube. So it's been a pleasure, but I couldn't imagine any other way than the Best of Mario Kart Tour award ceremony, including the brand new introduction of the Hall of Fame. This idea has been tossed around many times, especially by Sammy D, who's been, we need to do a Hall of Fame. We need to do a Hall of Fame. It just never got around to it. What better way to do it? But essentially, we put it out for a very unique vote. All of these categories you see on the screen here were individual questions we put out. And each one of the options were nominated by the Stud Fam. So we had, probably about 50 or 60 or so people submit, just, Stud Fam members only, submit nominations. So each question has those nominations. I added maybe one or two, but I tried not to get too involved. But then for the Hall of Fame, what I did is I included the top overall items, drivers, karts, and gliders from the last two award ceremonies, plus this one. And you guys get to be able to select which one enter the Hall of Fame forever, and be able to survive any other YouTube channels and be a part of our memory together. So that's how we're going to be kicking things off. There may or may not be shots involved. We'll see what happens there across the screens. But what do you guys remember from the last 2 years? What's some of your expectations? What are you going to go into tonight thinking?
Last 2 years. Oh God, I don't remember my breakfast.
Just one big blur, actually. Yeah. Especially I rewatched last year's award ceremony, and we were already talking about how last year was so crazy with the tracks, and it basically just continued on and on, onslaught into just boom, no new content announcement, and it was just like from utter feast to famine, and we're all still kind of reeling from that whole thing. And here we are in loop mode now.
You know what it felt like, Studfit? It felt like one of our episodes of The Rundown, where we spend the first 45 minutes just kind of rambling on, talking about, not that much. And then we're like, oh crap, we're running out of time. We need to race through the rest of the content to make it on time.
Yeah.
And that's what Nintendo did the past year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll always be puzzling about why they did things the way they did. But at least in terms of looking back this last year, there's a lot of awesome stuff. I think there was 4 new Nitro tracks. I think there were 3 new city tracks, if I'm not mistaken, and probably 11 or 12 new retros. A couple original characters, Poochie and Wiggler, who were big fan favorites. So there's been awesome stuff. And it's sad that there won't be more, but today we're going to look back on the last year and celebrate.
Awesome.
Last but not least, let's not forget Gold Mario, which I never expected to come.
No, you didn't. You really?
No.
Wow. Yeah, man. It's been a
I
wild
didn't
year.
expect it either.
It's been it's a tale of two halves, right? We had the half where it was like sprint to walk. We're getting new content all the time, nitros, retros. It was wonderful. Even looking back at some of these, I was like, man, that was just 6 months ago. The game was just absolutely crushing it. But it is what it is. Yep. We entered loop mode after the anniversary. They gave us a little heads up, and who knows how long this game will continue. I know, although this channel is wrapping up after this episode, I will be playing the game. I'll still be around in different communities. I think the goal for our Stud Fam server is to remove the paywall from it, but keep it as a private server, just to make sure that the Stud Fam can still be connected throughout the course of the game. It is a fun game. It's definitely one I want to play until the end, whether that's 1 year, 2 years, whatever it might be. So let's kick things off. We got a lot to get to. So let's jump into question number 1, which is the way we've started it every single other award ceremony. Best Lucky 7 driver of 2023. We have Poochie, Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer. Then we have some Miis. We have Silver Santa and King Boo Mii. So what are your thoughts on Best Lucky 7 driver of 2023? Do you have any suspicion as to who might win this award?
So we need to guess what the survey says.
Yes, so maybe I should mention that last year we had somewhere in the 800 or so.
I can tell you what I think, but...
Well, you can answer both, but I do want to make sure, because sometimes it's always helpful to know the sample size. Last year we had somewhere in the 700, 800 or so people submit the surveys. This year, because the community has, some of them have checked out, we had about 275 people be able to submit the survey, which is a good quorum. You could tell a lot of the categories, you could tell who the winner was, no matter if we had a couple thousand or not. Some were a little closer than others. But we try to get people from Reddit, people from the Discord server, people from YouTube. We put it out there. I know you guys helped me get it out there as well, so I appreciate everyone's help. So the out of those 275 surveys, we do have a number of them who submitted only one answer for this category. And the question is to you is, what do you think won? And then what was your actual answer and why?
You know, last year I was looking at the results that you got, and I think so many players who voted don't really have the whale ticket stash to really like do the King Boo Mii racing suit or the Santa suit all the way, even though those are super popular. I mean, all 5 of these did really, really well, and they're all 5 fan favorite drivers. My personal favorite, Shy Guy Explorer, but I know Poochie just from the memes and the emojis. Like, if I had a nickel for every Poochie emoji that was used on my server this year, I'd be a millionaire. So Poochie's got a huge fan base. But, I mean, I just took Santa Mii up yesterday, so I'm finally getting into that. Antelov, you're probably going King Boo.
I mean, if I had to guess what the community would be picking, I would probably guess Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer, just because he's been an absolute champion in ranks.
Yeah, he's done great.
Yeah. On a personal level, it's a tough one between Santa and King Boo. They've both been just... King Boo maybe kind of shade it just because it's carried my free-to-play account so hard.
Yeah.
I can just remember using King Boo so often in the past.
So many times.
If it's about the best lucky driver, no matter if someone has it or not, then I would definitely say it's the King Boo suit.
Yeah. Carlos, didn't you accidentally give him a spa day on the first time?
I uploaded a short where I accidentally, I think, triple capped it. But it was a good decision now.
But it worked out. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, all those Mii suits have done great for the whales. The other 2 drivers have done great for all the other players. So they all did good. But yeah, maybe Blue Explorer wins.
All right, so the study for Best Lucky 7 Driver of 2023 goes to Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer.
Okay.
May not be as big of a surprise, but one substantially over Poochie. Yeah, so about over 40% of people voted for Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer. Silver Mii was not everyone's favorite by a pretty substantial view. And then Santa actually was the highest of the Miis. So if you went into the Mii meta, it seemed like Santa actually beat out both Silver and King Boo.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, guys?
It's crazy how much this game has favored Shy Guy alts, just looking back at the last 4 years, you know?
Yeah.
Our buddy Shy Guy Carts had a great tour for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks a little bit like a fan favorites, Lucky 7 result.
Yeah.
Well, good. Let's get to
timing as well. We just had a tour where Santa Mii was featured, so
true.
That is true. That is one thing that we do have to take with a grain of salt. Is this is there is some recency bias to all of these answers. Everyone's kind of answering with this general time period in mind. So it does skew some of the answers potentially subconsciously. But I think overall, though, I think Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer, for those who did not invest into the meme, probably used him much more than Poochie. So I think this is a pretty fair vote, and I think that it might even beat out some of the recency bias. Let's get to question number 2. Best Boomerang driver of 2023. Before we get to the options here, what's your thoughts on Boomerang drivers? What's your thoughts on boomboxing? Are you burnt out, or are you starting to enjoy it? It feels like we kind of go into these mood swings with it, where we enjoy it for a while and then we get burnt out, then we enjoy it for a while and then we get burnt out. But the highs are highs, the lows are lows. What's your thoughts on Boomerang?
Oh, definitely burned out. Like, we had a lot of fun with it when it started, when boomboxing was a thing, but not like that hard. Now it's about getting 2, 3, 4 coin boxes in. Then, it's cool if you get your run, but it can take hours, and coin box is just easier and faster, and so more fun, I would say, or any other item. So for me, it's less fun at the moment to go for boombox.
Yeah. These are all awesome characters. These are all awesome alts. The 2 suits are like, once again, there's going to be the 2 camps. There's all the top players in Wales are going to say Petey and Larry are 2 of the best drivers, period. But then all the average players, Toad Astronaut was an absolute beast. DK Gladiator, like best alt of the year. I imagine he'll win best alt design in our awards. And he got it. And then you even had the final alt was Pauline Calgo, right? So I think Toad Astronaut, though, will take the award. Again, just like Light Blue Shy Guy, a non-me won the Lucky 7, I think Toad Astronaut will win this.
Yeah, I'd have to concur with that. Just on a personal level, Toad Astronaut basically single-handedly carried my free-to-play account to tier 80 and the gold me suit. So I know for non-Wales, he's been absolutely amazing. And you see when we do the analysis of the loop mode, which drivers are ranked the most, he's up there. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to vote for him winning this one on a personal level. The Larry Me Racing suit has just got the sickest tracks. That Sheep Lagoon T with the massive player. 100 actions in the first lap with no frenzies. It's crazy. Just single boomerang. It's insane.
And it's Larry, so.
And it's Larry. Larry.
We love Larry.
So I love Boomerang. For me, it's the most fun skill to play. There is absolutely no single feeling as good at hitting a boombox, even if it's not a frenzy, just a single boombox. It's just, I think it's highly track dependent though. You have some tracks where it's really easy to set up a good lobby. You have something like 3DS Bowser's Castle R, where you can get 6 coin boxers mid shelf without trying, and then you have ones with no coin boxers mid shelf, or the terrain isn't good, the coins don't fall well. The reason I like it the most is because it's such a huge advantage on short tracks. You get a track with 2 boxes per lap. You basically just need a boombox and then a banana frenzy or something, and you're out. Whereas if you're with Coinbox there, you need double Coinbox frenzy and a single out of 4 boxes. I think it's even more of a grind, And then Lucky 7 and Giant Banana, those short tracks, forget about it. You just don't get the action. So I'm a huge boombox fan, Boomerang fan in general. I like the fact that Nintendo gives Boomerang drivers a lot more tracks than Coinbox drivers on average. They don't seem to rate the skill as highly as maybe the people in the community do.
Yeah. It's interesting also, Luigi Knight was the last gotcha driver, and he didn't end up dominating. I mean, he could have had the run that Toad Astronaut had, and he didn't.
What about Gold Chuck?
Well, Gold Chuck, was he technically the last? Or I guess I'm thinking of the 100 pipes.
Okay, he was a special pipe.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of great.
Did well. But Toad Astronaut and Shy Guy Explorer, those 2 just carried the year in terms of non-coin box regular drivers. So
absolutely,
he'll win.
All right,
Let's
guys.
give him the award.
Yeah. So obviously, Boomerang. It is what it is. It's one of our best and least favorite skills in the game. But certainly we've had our own ups and downs with the skill in general. But yeah, to your point, guys, let's reveal the study for best Boomerang driver of 2023 goes to Toad Astronaut.
Yeah.
No surprise
Yeah.
there.
Go.
Waving at the
2 for 2,
fans.
guys.
Pretty substantial, over
wow.
45%.
And it's not even close.
Not even close. Not even close. Luigi Knight, obviously,
Poor
there at
Luigi
the
Knight.
bottom. Petey
Or
did
first Pauline.
look. Yeah. Yeah. Talking called
Oh my
Gladiator.
god.
It's weird. Now
Award.
that we're in loop mode, I wonder if you guys, if it makes sense to even go back and invest in Donkey Kong Gladiator, as he looks so cool. At this point in time, it's all about just having fun. Have you guys thought about going back and investing in him? Obviously, he looks pretty cool.
We still got some
Mine
trash to
smacks
see,
out.
right?
I'm finishing off my Mii suits, and then I'm gonna, I'll think about it. But I got a few Mii suits to get out of the way first.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers still to deal with.
That's fair. Well, talking about drivers, we'll move forward then from Lucky 7 to Boomerang to now member of the Banana Republic. That includes Giant and Triple Banana driver of 2023. So those include such as Totorist, Luigi Chef, Wiggler, and then 4 Mii's, Wiggler Mii, Morton Mii, Daisy Mii, and Yellow Mii. So guys, what do you think about Giant Banana now? I know that
This is hard.
This is hard. Now, first off, start about Giant Banana versus Triple Banana. Obviously, pretty decent gap between them. We don't consider Triple Banana as one of the top plus skills, but I think
But it's all potassium.
it is still full of potassium. Very very nutritional, no matter how much banana you're consuming. But what's your thoughts on Giant Banana? Is it still a fun skill? I know for a lot of us, we were dying to have a Giant Banana driver that was relevant to anywhere past Mario Sunshine. And finally, we got some, and then we got a lot. We got Year of the Banana last year, and this year we got plenty more. And I think at this point in time, though, we were like, "Oh, this is so much fun," but we still can't hit the same ceiling as Coinbox. Boomerang. Do you still invest a lot into Giant Banana? And kind of what's your thoughts now that we've settled in?
Yeah, but it's still like it's like a cult. It's such a fan favorite item. It's like a cult. You gotta love it. There's so many drivers. I remember recently we had a ranked where there's like all 4 of these Giant Banana drivers all on one track. I think like right now the zeitgeist would say Wiggler Mii, but in 6 months it could be Toad Tourist in the end. And then the whole last year in the past, I would say Yellow Mii. So all 3 of those really, I think actually this one might be one where the people vote for the Mii suit and it goes to Wiggler Mii.
Yeah, I would agree with that just because, so if you look at the statistics for who's in rank the most in the year of loop mode, Toad Tourist is actually the number 1 plus skill driver in terms of ranked appearances. But I feel like he kind of flew under the radar because he came out in like a less popular tour. It was at the point where like we were getting a lot of these like plus skill Mii suits and people were devoting more resources there. So Pink Ninja is like the all-time greatest Giant Banana driver, right? It's not 2023 drivers who's on the list. But since we got into the Mii meta, I feel like at the top end, people aren't investing in. If they invest in non-Miis, it's Boomerang drivers or Coinbox drivers, because those are where the action count potential is. Just like regular Lucky 7 drivers and regular, at least for the whales, regular Lucky 7 drivers, regular Giant Banana drivers just haven't been on the radar that much. So I would go here Yellow Mii Racing Suit, because Yellow Mii Racing Suit, maybe the recency bias will knock it down a bit, but if you go back 6 months, it's absolutely dominant.
So good.
No, totally
Yeah, you're
agree.
right.
So I love Giant Banana. In my opinion, much more enjoyable than Boomerang, boomboxing, as long as you don't get one. And you can just go in a lobby. You don't need easy bots. If you get a Giant Banana frames at the start, you will win the race because the bots are like a half lap behind you. And it's just great. And I do agree, Yellow Mii Racing Suit might take the win here. That's also my favorite.
All right. Yeah. Well, you guys, that would be their first Mii to win. So far, it's been pretty dominated by non-Miis. Yeah. Sammy, is that your guess as well?
Yeah, I really think this is the closest one yet, though. Either Yellow or Wiggler Mii. Yellow Mii or Wiggler Mii, I think.
Okay. Well, last year, as Antelov mentioned, Shy Guy Ninja Pink won with about 47%. Not far behind was White Tanuki Mario, around 37%. So,
Oh, I love that.
yeah. So this year, the study for best member of the Banana Republic goes to Yellow Me Racing Suit.
Oh, nice.
You guys are 3 for 3 here, and it wasn't
That's
even
so
close.
good.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The Tourist comes in second.
Yes,
That's
sir.
cool.
Yes, sir. Now, here's the thing: is if you were a Wiggler fan, potentially your vote could have been, spliced in half
Split.
between Wiggler and Wiggler Me,
Yeah.
because if you think about if Wiggler Me didn't exist, that could have been twice as high.
I do agree, though, like that. First of all, it's cool that Toad Tourist is like so good in loop here, and he has so many tracks to see still. And he might end up being one of the best drivers in the end. And he's like a tourist, and it fits the theme of the game. Like, I definitely plan on investing in him, even though he's still at 1. I plan on investing in Morton Me. I plan on investing in Wiggler Me. I want to invest in like 3 of these drivers, which I can't say about the Boomerang. So I think, especially as we play less, you want to get like tokens from crashes as well, like when you're trying to put less time in the game. So Giant Banana is going to do really well in the end. I think this is an awesome batch.
Awesome. Good. Awesome. Let's give a shout out to the ladies. First off, the ladies at home watching. Thank you for your support. And this has been I think a lot of the fans are, a lot of us are guys, and you see most of us here on the screen are guys, but there are a lot of awesome ladies out there who enjoyed this game, and hopefully we, no one sketched you out from just, guys being weird, but we're just shout out to the ladies just who play this game and part of the community. It makes a big part of joy of the game just to have, both men and women playing this game. But for the characters, let's give a nice little look across the board. If you remember correctly, last year Daisy Tydress won this competition. She was over 50%. This year we have a number of other new drivers entering the scene, including Pauline Cowgirl, Rosalina Chef, Toadette Astronaut, Rosalina Volendam, Daisy Farmer, and Daisy Me Racing Suit. Now here's the thing. So with the Me Racing Suits, we're all just assuming that their gender, that they're, like Gold Me is a guy and Silver Me is a guy, but they could be women too. So it does make things tough. This is a much smaller list than if you were to include those. But if you think about it, the Me's are genderless. But for the sake of this award, which we're now 3 years in the making, much smaller list than we've had in the past. What's your thoughts on Best Female Driver of 2023? Could we have our first back-to-back winner?
Yeah, didn't they Tydress crush it last year?
Yeah, I just said
So
that.
these are not all drivers released in 2023. We're just the best drivers that were around in 2023.
I mean, she was the best. We can all agree.
Last year?
Daisy?
I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I'm just curious how much sweating Draco was when he saw that question, because he didn't know where he needs to set the check mark. But Daisy, all in all, and that so Tydress Daisy.
He's like, can I vote for
Even
them
though
all?
I did not like her I think the first 2-3 months, and I didn't want to invest in her, and then I was like, yeah, okay, I need to do it.
And then finally, when they fixed her eyes, you were like, okay.
They fixed her eyes? They did?
Did you see the intro? They put a picture on Twitter where they updated some count. And
Really?
Well, that was Holidaisy, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was a Holidaisy? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all the Daisy's eyes are crossed, and they're one by one, they're correcting the eye.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that one.
All right,
So
so
Cowgirl is an awesome new alt. It's a shame that she's going to get swept under the rug here, because she's a great alt.
Very good.
Just too little, too late, kind of.
now why do you think that she was swept under the rug? Is it because Donkey Kong Gladiator came out like literally the next tour, or is it because or was it because just all the Mii's and all the how they were dominating the meta?
All the above.
A bit of both, yeah.
Okay. All right, so best female driver. Anyone have any other suggestions or guesses?
I think Ty Daisy's gotta take it.
Okay. All right. Well, study for best female driver of 2023 goes to Daisy Tydress. You guys were right. You guys are on a roll. And as you could probably guess, she won by an even wider margin than she did last year. She won over 70%.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's nice.
Queen.
Well, she's the only coin
One of the
boxer
highest
on
we will
there.
see today.
This category should have been second best female driver of 2023.
Which
Yeah, she
Would've been
would
more
be like,
interesting.
you might consider her like, I feel like she would go up there with Vacation Peach, PGP, and Volendam. Like those four are like the queens of Mario Kart Tour. Maybe throw Black Birdo in there too, but
I really wonder that Cowgirl Paulina is so close to Rosalina Volendam. Actually, she's second.
yeah.
I would have thought Volendam might be second.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just because she's quite a bit older, you know. She was in like an early 22 driver.
She had her time.
Yeah. So like getting on a year and a half, almost 2 years old now.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll move to question number 5, best costume design of 2023, which is the most aesthetically pleasing outfit of the driver's alternative. So as you've probably noticed, a lot of the characters that we're familiar with, the base or the primary character that's not wearing a goofy outfit. Now we have like, an outfit that is representative of that area that they are coming from. So, things like for Donkey Kong Gladiator from, the Gladiator time period, and Pauline Cowgirl, obviously wearing a cowgirl outfit. So they're all wearing outfits. Which outfit, of the ones you see here, is the most aesthetically pleasing? So don't think about skill, don't think about anything else other than what's the pleasing to the eye. Which one is cosmetically the coolest looking to you? And now, if just to remind you guys, last year, Mario Samurai and Daisy Tide Dress were tied with a slight edge towards Mario Samurai with about 16.41%, end up winning that category. So, with that being said, what do you guys think about best costume for the alts?
Should we count down and say it together?
1, 2.
I think this is going to be a blowout. 3. Spartacon. I'll use your
Spartacon.
Yeah.
What countdown was that?
That was probably the worst countdown ever.
You want to try it again, Sammy? Want to do
No, I just turned you kind of. Anyways, I think Spartacon is going to blow it out.
Now, when you said countdown, I'm like, so am I going to say Donkey Kong Gladiator or its real name, Spartacon? Carlos, what do you think,
Donkey
man?
Kong Gladiator.
Spartacon. Okay. Yeah, Donkey Kong. Yeah, I would say the same, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he really fits into the role. Yeah.
Well, you guys have been in tune with the general population pretty well so far. So, number 5, the best costume design study goes to Donkey Kong Gladiator.
That looks awesome.
Like honestly, like whatever alt DK got probably would have won this.
Yeah.
But it's so cool that he is a gladiator, and it was such a long-awaited alt, probably the most anticipated alt ever in the game. So
it's just,
it was a
I think
great
it's
moment.
kind of a pity that it was almost too late. If it came
exactly
6 months earlier, I think it would have been a lot more hype around it. I mean,
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's because of the couple of the people that were like massive DK stands had kind of moved on from the game at that point, or at least moved on from the
Oh
community.
yeah, they've given up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, which is sad, but I mean, I think it's a combination of how good does he look, but also how long was everybody waiting for a Kong alt?
Yeah. And similarly, like this was in the Koopa V era, which we should kind of almost give Koopa V an honorary award, because like he did so much like hype this year with. They basically figured out, like during this time we'd already figured out the remaining tours. Yeah. And so there was this sense of impending doom, kind of like that things are running out. And so, yeah, it's like they got him in almost under the wire, him and Pauline Cowgirl. And I don't know why they made Mario Black Suit. That one I'm still going to be scratching my head over why that all even came out. But
yeah, man, he's so cool looking. It's sad that they used him as like a card that they were holding close to their chest for such a long period of time, compared to if he had come out at the same time as Meowser, we would have been talking about them two.
Oh yeah,
like against each other in like this epic battle. Very
totally.
Cool. But yeah, he won pretty heavily there. And apologize, I don't have. I can make the percentages show up here. Just you probably want to see those. Here we go. Let's put them in white. There you go. So pretty close to 60%, which is pretty insane. Wonderful. Nice. Good. All right, let's go to most aesthetically pleasing Mii suit design released in 2023.
Please don't read all these out. Can we just say our favorites? Or
yeah, sure.
I have no idea, by the way.
You have no idea?
I don't know what will win. There's not an obvious standout to me, honestly.
I think it's a Koopa Link because of the hairstyle, like Larry Ludwig, maybe. but more
I
Larry, because
think,
Larry might be
the
more used.
Morton B suit is really cool.
Yeah.
Morton is good. I think Waluigi Me could do well. Just because good colors, Waluigi. Yeah.
Now, the one thing that may not be surprising, but it's the fact that all these Mii's came out this year, which is wild to think about.
We were getting a Mii almost every tour.
It's pretty insane. So last year, Question Block had won pretty substantially. And then since then, and he won about 25%. He had the Ice Cream Me not too far behind at about 20%. So, pretty big win for him. But there were substantially less Mii's. There were more Mii's that came out this year than last year. So big, tough track to try to go up against. And of course, you had gold and silver and other drivers that looked exactly just different tint. So this one, definitely a lot of unique ones, which was pretty interesting. We kind of left off the colors, and there were still plenty to look at. But Carlos, what's your guess here?
What is Larry? I would say Larry. I think I voted for Larry also. Because I like his hair. I use him a lot.
Okay. All right. So I think it's all you guys.
I don't know what all these look like, to be honest.
Yeah, I was also like, what is the Roaring racing suit looking like?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's the Singapore Merlion statue.
No, I know that one.
True.
But I'm trying to remember what.
I still don't know how it looks
That's
like.
a cool one.
What
That is
the
a cool one.
Toadette Me racing suit looks like, and I'm just like, it's pink.
Yeah. They released them in a weird order. And,
I mean, the fishbone also looks quite cool, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you what I think looks the coolest, but I mean,
which one's that?
I need to look it up now.
Which one is your favorite?
Dry Bowser.
Dry Bowser.
Oh, yeah.
Dry Bowser's not.
But that's not on here. It was
and
released.
I'll say what I said last year, which is. I said this last year, but the colored ones are my favorite. I wish they were on here because, to me, yellow is the coolest looking. Like yellow, pink, those are both
the most
favorites.
aesthetically
Cool.
pleasing.
Yeah,
There's no way.
Clean, man.
Okay,
Clean.
all right. Okay, all right. These are some cool looking designs. I don't know. I wouldn't even put any of the alt colors on the top 25. So.
Wow, that's crazy. These are
the
also
colors.
silly.
This is not
like
most
silly.
useful. This is most aesthetically pleasing.
There should be a separate category for the colors.
In fact, these are almost like the least useful, except for Larry.
Well, let's see what everyone does.
Okay.
Yeah, do we have to put in a definitive vote?
Yeah, I do actually want, because this is a tough one. So I would like to hear what your guesses are.
Everyone get 5%.
I'm gonna zig while everyone's zagging here, to use one of your catchphrases before your channel ends, and say Koopa Clown because it was kind of a meme almost.
That's a good one.
And I'm gonna say that.
I actually nominated that one.
Yeah, I'll predict that one.
Okay. Antilev?
I said Larry. I'm just going to be unoriginal. I feel like people are not going to know how to vote for this, and so they'll just go with the one they have the most affinity for from a playing perspective. So I'm doing a little tactical strategy there.
Okay. All right. Carlos, official guess?
Still Larry.
Larry. Okay. All right. The study for most aesthetically pleasing Mii suit design released in 2023 goes to Roaring Racer Mii racing suit.
Wow.
That's what it looks like, Carlos.
It's a good design, yeah.
It's a beautiful design.
We were very close to predicting it. Oh wow, there's a lot of what is
Pokey Me was in second.
Pokey.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, with Blooper as third and Koopa Clown in fourth. Behind that, we have Wiggler and then Larry. So you kind of were right there, Antilev, is that Larry did go up a little higher, but
1, 2, 3.
All right. Big Pokey voting block came out.
Yeah, man. I was surprised by that. That was Roaring Racer was my vote. I looked at them all and I was like, you can't tell me that doesn't look cool. But Pokey was a huge surprise. I was not. I didn't really. I mean, it's like one of those you kind of just skimmed by. There's a lot happening that tour, but the fans love it. Good.
All right. Next up.
All right.
I'm counting for tears.
Number 7, best comeback driver of the year here in 2023. Now, we on the questionnaire, we were very explicit about the rules on this. It is any driver that was released in 2020, 2021, 2022, that performed well in 2023. So they were not released this year and did very, very well. And that was our definition of comeback. It did not mean that they had to, be lackluster at first and then do really well in the end, or come out pretty well and then not do so well and then do well later on. That's just that was too confusing. So I made a very clear line. All of these drivers came out not this year. And obviously a number of different options, everything from some of our old school coin boxers such as Pauline Party Time and Mario Tuxedo, Toilet Paper Head, Toilet Paper Mario, and then all the way to some of the ones that came out towards the end of like Halloween-ish area. So, guys, what's your thoughts on best comeback driver of the year? And by the way, just to let you know, the comeback driver of the year last year was Yoshi Kangaroo. He was about 34%. He obviously had a really good year last year with Pauline Party Time far below, about half of that, around 18 or 19%. So, guys, what do you think? Best comeback driver of 2023?
My first thought is, where's Gold Charging Chuck?
Yeah, because he did.
Because he would be
I don't know how he missed the nominations, because he did better technically this year than PD Prana Gold. I would imagine.
I think he was so good, people just assumed he was new.
No, I think it was not on any of the nominations, but you're right. He could have been qualified. But at the same point in time, how fun would it have been if we would have just gone in here and then he would have won by a landslide. So I'm kind of glad that
best comeback driver of 2023.
What's that?
Yeah.
Best best comeback driver of the year. Sure.
I mean, it's also not going to be fun when Ty Daisy wins this again, because she technically did the best, I think, of all of these, I would say.
I'm going to go King Mario, actually. I'm going to say while everybody else is zagging.
I find it hard because we have a lot of drivers and a lot of me suits. I think people will most likely go for a regular driver rather than a me suit. So, I don't know, Ty Daisy, but yeah, then she has 2 wins. And from the suits, would be King Boo Racing suit for me.
Yeah.
So either Ty Daisy or the Boo suit.
I'm always rooting for Mario King. I wish he did even better, but I wouldn't mind if he won this, or White Snooki Mario for that matter. But yeah, it's a little all over the place. So let's just see who everyone wrote it.
All right. Study for best comeback driver of 2023, not including Gold Charging Chuck, is King Mario.
Hey, Auntie.
GG's, Auntie.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, no clown. The clowning. No
Is it not called Clown Mario?
Daisy Tydress was actually substantially
he's
lower.
He's a champ now, man.
Good lead.
He got slated so hard when he came out, Mario King, because the stupid pipe, and then his first 25 tracks were all cities, so it was basically like, this guy's a joke, and he had kind of a nice little redemption arc this year, so I'm not real surprised.
He did.
Yeah.
I do think he had quite a comeback. Like, if you think about Mario, it does. I mean, he's a poster child for being a comeback driver of the year. So I'm glad he walked away with the win. And Daisy Tydress cannot win all the awards for once, which is really nice. So now here's
a great one.
Here's a study for best super driver. I know Carlos is really excited about answering this one. By the way, last year we had
what is that?
Yeah,
super drivers.
Can we skip?
No, I need you guys to make a prediction. I will say last year's 8th question was most desired new alt driver, and unfortunately, RIP to that one. Obviously, Donkey Kong would have been number 1, but there was Nabbit and Diddy Kong. We had a good conversation about is Nabbit an alt to begin with, Bowser Jr. being the original. But we obviously are not doing desired new alts because there is no new alts coming out into the game. So we were jumping right to best super driver of 2023. Some of us may not know what any of these coverages. I'm sure Antela probably and his free to play account could probably give us a little more intel, but I do want guesses from you guys. Can be just like a pie in the sky vote.
I have also free to play account that
okay.
Don't use super.
All right, Carlos, then you'll start us off. What do you think?
Not a lot. Red Birdo.
Yeah,
throw a dart at the wall. Well, I did use Green Birdo on one ranked track this year. I took her to 7 quad cap. I don't know why. I don't even remember the track, but that's literally the only indication I have on this whole list. But
did you need to use to buy the base ticket bundle for?
Oh yeah, of course. I bought 4 packs.
Okay. Yeah. mega whale.
Yeah, I wailed for Birdo Green. Big moment of my game.
Peach Circuit RT level 6 unlock from Red Birdo.
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
That was, I mean, because the other options on that track were just, I don't even think there's a plus skill on that track. So getting that, so it was, you could use a super driver, but you needed to get it to level 6. I think that one will be the most memorable. And it was a pretty recent tour, right? It was like right before anniversary or something. So I think Red Birdo will be the audience's favorite there. Cooper freerunning, it sounds like an old driver because it's the basic green Koopa with no special skills, but he's one of the last super drivers added. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He's got 34 top shelf tracks, which is absolutely insane for a super driver. That's more than a lot of high ends. So that's my personal favorite, but I think the audience will pick Red Birdo.
Okay, we got two Red Birdos and a hands up in the air, maybe green from Sammy D.
I'll go green.
Okay, all right. I will say from an aesthetic perspective, I think green looks the coolest. I did invest in the green Birdo cart. Big fan of that one. And the study for best super driver goes to Red Birdo.
Nice.
You guys are on fire.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, good.
Pretty big win there. All right, let's move forward because we got some good ones to come up for. Best overall driver of 2023. You're very familiar with a lot of these drivers, as these are ones you probably should maybe be a part of everyone's account. But we have some Coinbox drivers, we have some Boomerang drivers, we even have some me suits on here. Who do you think wins best overall driver? Maybe the most coveted category of them all.
Oh, it has to be.
There's 2 options, right?
Yeah, there's 2, but there's really 1.
Chuck and Goldme?
Yeah,
I think so.
It's funny. Last year, Meowser won because the Gold Me was not, finished, I guess.
Not in full. Yeah.
But it was written in stone, that, let's face it, it is the best driver. But yes, in terms of non-me, it's Gold Chuck. So,
but I think most people will have Gold Me racing suit by the time now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't even need that many tickets to have a better driver than Charging Chuck.
No, I think people who are even not into the me meta are still will make an exception for Gold Me just because it's not even like a lot of me drivers. You look at, okay, this has got a lot of tracks for a me suit, and Gold Me, it's like, well, this has got a lot of tracks, like even compared to normal drivers. So
I'm just glad Ansel had finally invested in it before the end of the calendar year.
I held up for as long as I could.
Yeah, you
still
did
level 1 on my free-to-play account, but
wow.
Yeah, if you remember, to your point, Sammy, Meowser won over 50% of the votes and nowhere even close. I think Gold Me ended up being around maybe 10%. So as we talked about, though, we talked about this all year long. The Gold Me suit was going to get a buffing cycle unlike any other. And so certainly, I think that the biggest 2 names were Gold Charging Chuck and Gold Me. The question is are we going to have a lot of the voters that came in and still go with Gold Charging Chuck because that's the one that they've been using as their free to play, or still kind of because they're newer players, they weren't going to get to tier 80. So ultimately,
there
guys,
might be a lot of players who never even got the gold suit. So
what do you guys think?
It is crazy the amount of buffs.
Yeah,
it is crazy the amount of buffs Gold Chuck got. Like he would, even to the last couple tours. Yeah. He was still getting ranked. And it's like, dude, just spread the love. Like, why is he the greatest driver in the game other than Gold Me? It's like, couldn't you have given Mario King a couple more? Couldn't you have, there's so many others they could have, but whatever.
Yeah, when you look at, Ansel and I talked about the rest of year 5 and, Gold Charging Chuck, which is so dominant and ranked. But for All Cup ranking, he's like, nowhere close to the top compared to other drivers. So it just when he got buffs, he got the efficient ranked buffs, and that's what a lot of players wanted. So
especially since there was 2 other coin boxers released this year that aren't even on this list: Gold Knight Luigi and Gold Wiggler. It sucks that both of them just. I mean, I don't even know how they're going to finish because of Gold Chuck's dominance. So.
All right,
Not
so
mission layer winter time.
So everyone voting for Gold Me, or is anyone voting for Gold Charging Chuck? What's the consensus? Okay. Study 4, best overall driver of 2023 is, you guys are good, Gold Me Racing Suit. And as you guys guessed, it was between these two drivers. It was actually very close.
40, 30, 32.
Yep, very close, about 40, and then around 42 or so. So good job. You guys are on a roll. Kind of like everything else in this game, we pretty much know what's happening. You guys are in tune with what's going on in the meta.
It's the community's fault for being so predictable. They should get some new material.
Hey, man, you know what? They watch the rundown.
That's true, yeah.
They know what's going on. They're no noobs. All right, guys. It's an interesting one. Study 4, best kart family in 2023. We have obviously the Eagles, the Cupid Arrows, Shield Speedsters, Off-Roaders, Comets, Streetles, Speeders, Warrior Wagons, B-Dasher Mark IIs, Pipes, and Crawley Carts. What's your thoughts, guys?
Crawley Carts for me. Even though I don't like spiders, but Crawley Carts just look awesome. I love them. Yeah.
Personal favorite?
It's about the skin, not like anything else. The second one would be I think the Eagles, yeah. But Crawley Carts for the win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan
Eagles
of
are going
the Speedsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're awesome. There's great families here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shielded will get a lot of votes. I think Cupid Zeros will get a lot of votes. I think Eagles will get especially a lot of votes just because Blazing Eagle really made a run for Kart of the Year, even though I think it's still Off-Roader's game. It's an Off-Roader game at the end of the day. I think Off-Roader could win a second year in a row. I really do.
So, is it like the best looking or the best family
overall
in terms of value?
This is
It's whatever people think.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, value. I would agree with the Off-Roaders.
It's both.
I thought more about the design.
I think about the usefulness, but
I think every voter
off-road
considers both. You know, it's like
especially
you want to use them, but you want to also love them, and I think off-roaders have that. You know.
Speaking of which, where are the brooms?
Sammy didn't nominate them. I don't know what was wrong with you, Sammy. It's kind of like Best Picture, right? So it takes into consideration cinematography and acting and like all the aspects of what something brings to the table. So, obviously we talked about this. Off-Roader won last year pretty substantially. What do you think? And before that was the Kings. So what do you guys think, guys? Who wins?
On a personal level, I would actually choose the Cupid's Arrows. I know what the gold one is, but just the original and the silver have been so good this year. But to be honest, I think I have to guess that the community is going to go with Off-Roaders just because we had 3 of them that were very Moo Moo Off-Roader is obviously a top 3 kart almost all year, or for as long as we were doing the top 10 list. But Red Off-Roader was in ranked a lot. Super underrated card. And then, the Yellow Off-Roader, maybe it didn't have its peak in 2023, but we're talking about 3 of those cards being very, very relevant, So I think people are still going to go with the Off-Roaders.
And the original, it doesn't have a lot of use now, but it is a legacy. I predict it will be a Hall of Fame card. Possible. Well, it actually probably won't make the Hall of Fame considering we have yellow to deal with. But it's like a legacy card, Mm-hmm. So it's got 4 out of the 5 are famous.
And then you just got the cool one.
Yeah. But even now, people invest in that. My personal favorite aesthetics is the Mark IIs. Everybody knows that. They're sick. I think we'll always look back and we'll love those. But yeah, I think Off-Roaders is going to win the second year in a row.
Yeah, agree.
Wow. All right.
Okay, so we're unanimous.
We have seen some back-to-back winners so far this award ceremony. So, study 4, Best Kart Scan Family of 2023 goes to the Eagles.
Oh, come on.
Very good. Very good.
Wow, this might be your
that's
first
good.
loss for some of you guys here on the show.
Well,
I actually nominated the Eagles. We were second place.
They look awesome.
yeah, but I mean,
but-
isn't the Blazing really the only great one? I mean,
Yeah, but
no,
I
that's
think,
so talented.
I think
That's-
they
that's
also
the-
won
that's
because
the-
of the looks, maybe.
No, the
that's
Swift
what's up.
talent is really, really good. Actually, has been
Yeah.
really good this year. But it's underrated because it has like 50 tracks and like 27 of them are cities. So people overlooked it. But because we had so many cities this year, it was in ranked a lot, like really a lot. And I think people who don't, follow our dumb words and be like, oh, don't worry about cities, who invested in it actually got really good usage out of it. So I'm not really surprised with this.
It's cool to see people change it up to something different.
Yeah.
I personally don't love the Eagles, but it's cool. They can take it.
It doesn't matter what you think. No, I'm just joking. Gotta give a shout out to The Rock. But no, one category that I from last year that we did not have this year that I wanted to circle back on. It was actually driver related. Most likely to succeed driver in 2023. I know Sammy, you rewatched this, but Carlos Anselov, do you what do you think? What if you can remember? Or I know Carlos, you can't remember your breakfast, so I'll ask you then. What do you think was the as selected as the most likely to succeed last year?
Driver or kart?
Driver.
Probably gold.
Gold means huge.
It was Larry Wintertime. Guess
There was so much hope.
who wasn't on here at all. Guess who was number 2?
Gold PD Piranha.
Gold PD Piranha.
Yellow suit?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Gold beat out Gold Charging Chuck, which is pretty crazy. All right, so fun fact. Sorry, I had to rewind there. That's on my fault for missing that.
That was a fun fact.
Best overall kart. I mean, it's like we at the time we didn't know what we were doing. We just were thinking most likely to succeed. But obviously, we don't have that category this year. Best overall kart of 2023. We have some great karts on here. We got 2 off-roaders. We have 2 Eagles. We have a Crawley kart, which is Carlos's ultimate favorite. We have some cult favorites: Lightning Streamliner, Tropical Truck. We even have Sammy's favorite Silver Cupid's Arrow, Camo Tanuki kart, and Blooper Shuttle. So what do you thoughts, guys? Best overall kart of 2023?
So my favorite here actually is an award for Blooper Shuttle. I don't think it will win, but Blooper Shuttle really got some amazing buzz, was very often rank up. But I guess also because of the previous one, I think it might be Blazing Eagle.
Yeah,
And Band Off-Roaders.
I think even if the Eagles hadn't won, I would still say Blazing Eagle here because it was really, really. Personally, I'd probably go with the Lightning McQueen liner on this one. As my favorite and most useful, and like also getting on that bandwagon earlier. But I think this is going to be a landslide Blazing Eagle.
Sammy.
Yeah, I think it'll win too. I think Momo will come second, maybe, actually. I don't know. I personally still say yellow. Maybe I'm just... I think I tend to... Whatever the opposite of recency bias is. Like, I really go with the more established
Nostalgia.
thing.
Nostalgic, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not even nostalgia. I mean, it did great this year. It won Car of the Year last year.
It did.
So I guess it wouldn't be fair to give it again, but it did incredible. But yeah, I think Blazing will win. So
Okay.
let's see. What's your favorite stuff before you reveal?
Tropical Truck. Not just
right, of course.
not just because of what it looks like, but
What's
it
your
was
all-time favorite?
it was the most useful for me. Like if I think about like Frenzy fans stats of like what did you use in ranked the most or what did you use in All Cup ranking, I actually used Tropical Truck a lot. But it didn't, it didn't hit like the high level meta because of its size. But I used it all the time. I mean, there were coconut malls left and right. There were different tracks I was using it on. It had like a very interesting buffing cycle. But I mean, at this point in time, though, it's now gotten some overlap with bigger carts than it. So it's maybe at this point in time, we'll see what happens. I mean, we have these shielded speedsters. We have all this other stuff that I've invested in that's starting to kind of take some of its tracks. But the study, without further ado, the study for best overall card of 2023 goes to Blazing Eagle.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
and-
close was Moon? Oh, it was
Wow.
not close at all.
And
Jeez,
Yellow
I
and
thought
Moo
Moon would do
stuck on
better.
it.
Said landslide.
Jeez, you're right.
over 50.
Okay. People love that card, dude.
It's wide.
That was a one vote from Auntie left.
It's too. I don't want to.
I cheated. I voted like 300 times.
It's wide, but it's too wide in the middle. I really don't like the back. I want that back. You know, I like the big backside, baby.
Baby like back. I get it, man.
Sammy, can you say I like big butts and I cannot lie?
I like big carts, and I cannot lie. But the back, it's got to have the back so you can swing out to get the coins. It's good. It's really good card. But I like the build of the off-roaders better. But anyway.
Okay. All right. Guess who was the most likely to succeed cart last year?
Moo.
Moo off-roader.
It was Mumu. It was Mumu. Over 40%. So,
We didn't even have the Eagles yet. Didn't they all come out in this year?
no. Came out with
It
King
was
Mario.
the
right?
No, in the
Didn't it come out on the same tour as King Mario during the anniversary?
Oh, okay.
was it that one or was it the? Yeah, no, you're right. It was an all city tour.
Sorry, everybody. We're supposed to be the experts.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. Best glider skin. We're moving to gliders now. Best glider skin of 2023. We got the wonderful gems, garnet, diamond, topaz, the hard hats, checkered gliders, 8-bit gliders, star shoots, wings, ice cream balloons, emblems, and toe bean balloons. What do you think, guys?
8-bit gliders all the way. You can't go wrong
See,
with any of
that's
them.
how I see. That's kind of how I felt about the off-roaders. Is that that's the legacy pick, and they still all did amazing across the board. But wouldn't you say that technically the two best were Garnet and Diamond? So Gems gets it.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't those two of the best? Like,
One up mushroom, big mushroom.
oh, I know. Dude, believe me, I know. One
I
up
think
and
there's too
super
many
big,
8-bit
super
gliders.
big.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, didn't you fight investing in that, Sammy, for a while?
Which one?
Was it the one up that you resisted a little bit?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Maybe I think the 8-bit Super, but then
Okay.
8-bit Super I think is almost underrated at this point compared to the one up. And then we got the new batch of them too, which was kind of cool, and they all did pretty good.
Yeah.
Like we were wondering if they would all do well, and they kind of did.
they kind of all were at least above average for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the
I
vote.
think Gems will win. But I think Gliders is like all-time best family.
I'll go gems.
Okay. Well, the 8-bit won last year, just to remind everyone. So, I mean, they've been pretty dominant this whole time. But we do have potentially a changing of the guard. Did wonderful gems have enough to win it? The study goes to the 8-bit gliders.
Oh,
Do we have a score
Wow,
sheet
nice.
who was more often right?
no. Yeah.
we could have there, but pretty substantial win. The wonderful gems were in second place, which is
It's just the nostalgia is and the legacy is so strong.
Yeah.
the legacy.
The thing is, I think we had so many 8-bit gliders, there's a good chance that everybody or almost everybody invested in at least one of them. And since they were all at least decent, like you have a good memory of them. So
Just strength in numbers.
like I invested in the 8-bit Goomba, which is I think the worst
me too.
match that came out.
Yeah, it was the
You know,
worst.
and I was like, oh, this one's gonna be the best. And like, of course, like you know, but
I
it
was worried
still-
when I was worried when we got the 4 8-bit gliders at the same time. I was like, will they all be good? But they kind of are. I mean, the block glider, the Goomba glider.
was good.
I don't know if it resonated, but it's for sure more than average. So and the other ones are still amazing. Like how often do I see my one-up mushroom glider or the giant mushroom in
insane.
Rank Cup? It's pretty much every week.
I think that's the next category, right? And it's got to be 8-bit one on mushroom glider of the year, right?
Well, if you guys want to jump forward, the best overall glider of 2023, we have the two wonderful gems, Diamond Garnet, the yellow hard hat, which was the top hard hat of the year, with two 8-bit items, 1-up and Super, Black Star Shoot, Boom Mask, which had a lot of ties together with their tracks, Red Checkered Glider, Fuzzy Kite for Anselev's sake, and then Calico Toe Beam Balloons. By the way, best overall glider last year was the Wonderful Wings, pretty substantially too, over 50%.
And we predicted 8-Bit 1-Up to be most likely to succeed. It was already clear. It was already written in time, and I think it's absolutely the winner.
Yeah,
Carlos,
great batch of gliders though.
I mean, it's one of my favorite gliders, definitely. So the 1-Up Mushroom might have a good chance to win here. I'm kind of missing the lava rocks. They're also pretty good.
Or pretty good, yeah.
Didn't they appear in 2023?
Yeah, it's too bad it didn't.
Mushroom didn't come out in 2023 either. It came out in the tour.
It could have been. If it was nominated, it could have been on here. I do think that I know you took yours up pretty high, pretty early on, Carlos. But honestly, it never was a dominant. We have a lot of dominant gliders on this list. I mean, we have these two
super underrated. It wasn't because I invested in Lava Rocks right away because I went for top 1,000, my free-to-play account. That was my first top 1,000 attempt in the tour. It came out, so I invested it right away. And if you had it at a high level early on, it was in ranked all the time. And a lot of times, it was like the only glider I had in ranked. It was on some really tough paintball tracks, too. So I think it kind of got a real deal.
Yeah, that's great. I would put that and Autumn Leaves too, maybe like a little mention.
Oh, yeah,
I would put those over Calico myself, but maybe, I'm not aware of Calico. I never invested.
Very good.
We had Calico mentioned nominated 2 or 3 times by the Stud Fam. So again, you guys could have nominated. I gave you guys a chance to nominate if you wanted to, but so no complaints.
I trust the community.
All right, so best overall glider.
We'll go for Fuzzy Kite here.
Oh, you're gonna go Fuzzy Kite? Okay.
I don't think it's actually going to be the one that the community chooses, but I got a rep.
Okay.
I thought you were supposed to dress up as a fuzzy kite or as a fuzzy. I forget. I don't Google fuzzy.
I didn't just grow my beard out.
There you go. There you go. Study for best overall glider of 2023 goes to 8-Bit 1-Up Mushroom. You guys nailed it.
Yes, sir.
Hall of Fame. It's Hall of Fame also. I'm predicting it now. Hall of Fame.
Wow. Early prediction on Hall of Fame. Okay. All right, guys. Let's move forward to best soundtrack of 2023. Now, I know this list may not mean anything to people like myself who play with the sound off, and there are plenty of players like that. And this category might be the most important to people like Sammy D. So let Sammy, I know that you already have some gripes with the list because you may or may not have nominated. But what's your thoughts on best soundtrack of 2023? Coming from the soundtrack god himself.
There's so many, so you gotta kind of break it down. There's so many. Long story short, Yoshi's Island is a contender. Has lots of fans because of the nostalgia of.
Oh no! Can you guys? I can't hear you, Sammy.
You can't hear me?
Can you hear?
I can hear him.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yoshi's Island, a contender. The two Nitros, Squeaky and Cove, maybe not, but something was left off this. I guess I trusted people to nominate it, and they didn't, which is Piranha Plant Pipeline. Would love to have seen that. I think it would be a contender. All the retros, there's no standout to me, honestly. I would go right down to the bottom, and we need to say that in Madrid, the stadium theme in particular is one of the coolest things Mario Kart has ever done.
Wow.
Musically.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I think for that alone, that chanting, and it's a great theme, I actually think Madrid might win this award, either Madrid or Yoshi's Island. Those are my predictions for the two. I'm going to say Madrid, though.
I actually thought about the same, Madrid. Like, it's pretty new, but it's a very, very, very cool soundtrack.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, pretty much all soundtracks from Nintendo and Mario Kart are cool, so it's really hard to choose. My personal favorite would be DK Pass, which is on the list. I might then also go, but overall, I mean,
I know what you
Madrid Drive has a good chance. But Yoshi's Island is also cool, so that's so much good stuff.
Official vote, Carlos. What is it?
It's just opening music when you start the track, and like I don't know,
and closing music.
Is it a total? No, I know. I'm not gonna even sing it right now. I could.
No, go ahead.
In my head.
No, go on.
No, but here's the thing. Like when I look at like what the communities vote for, which of these tracks, which has music that is memorable? I gotta be honest. I don't remember what the music from Mario Raceway sounds like, or the music from Mushroom Bridge.
Well, that's just because of the amount of tracks too.
Yeah, exactly. But the ones that stick out to me are Yoshi's Island and Madrid. I mean, I'm like, sorry to be like copying you guys, but it's true that Madrid has a flamenco theme, which is just like so sick, so good. I'm gonna go Yoshi's Island. Again, that's some personal bias, but it's so good.
Yeah, I think it could actually. I'm predicting Madrid, but I think Yoshi's could upset.
Okay, Carlos, would you say? Did I get yours official?
I go with Madrid now.
Okay. All right. Well, the study for best soundtrack of 2023 goes to Yoshi's Island.
There it is. Let's see how close Madrid was. Not really. Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
That's a lot.
We had a Rainbow Road on there.
So big, man. The fan service they put into that track, the sounds, all the references, the Easter eggs, is a highlight of the year. That whole track and that tour.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was almost as high of a point as the Ninja Tour was. Like, for me personally, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah.
That Poochie reveal too. So good.
Right.
Yes.
Well, good. Singapore Speedway won last year. Best retro track introduced to Mario Kart Tour in 2023. Last year was Coconut Mall. This year we have a couple options: Daisy circuits, Luigi circuits, Mario circuits, Peach circuits. We got a lot of circuits. We also got some unique ones in there too, including Waluigi Stadium. Obviously a big Waluigi fan here, and a number of others. What are your thoughts on best retro track introduced to Mario Kart Tour in 2023?
Lakeside Park, 100%.
Really?
So gorgeous.
Okay.
With the changing sky. I mean, it is good, but.
No, I mean,
Stadium is
looking at all of
really
these,
good.
for me, that's the one that really sticks out as like the most beautiful track,
Okay. What are you saying, Carlos?
I like Waluigi Stadium a lot, but it's a hard choice.
It's a very hard choice.
We got so many cool new tracks.
Rainbow Road, by the way, would win this running away if it was 2 laps.
That's in fact I would say that's the worst.
Pissed everybody off.
Remake.
Like, I like it.
Yeah, that was a low point for me. That
it's coming back in ranked.
I know.
Rainbow Road T
I know.
with $3.
Yep. King Mario has it too, I think. Daisy's Circuits is a great one. And I do think that a special mention to the 2 Bowser's Castles. Like, we got them in the same tour. One was that crazy glow up of SNES 3 with the lava waterfalls and all that stuff and driving on top of the walls. And then at the same tour, it was Bowser's Castle 4 with the giant pinballs coming from the sky and the blown up castle. So those 2 were really cool. What's going to win? I might say SNES Bowser's Castle 3 actually might win.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, best retro track introduced to Mario Kart Tour in 2023 is Moonview Highway.
I was about to say, but God.
Dude, chasing, stalling on the glide and chasing that moving question block as it drives is so good.
Yeah,
it's such an epic track. It kind of is an all-time track, honestly, just because of
it's a good
what's
one.
involved. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, Rainbow Road did really well. Jeez.
Yeah, it did really well. Bowser's Castle 3 was number 2.
Yeah, my pick was on target.
Yeah, you guys named a lot of the top ones, which is Waluigi Stadium wasn't too far behind. So good job, guys, there, tossing out some top ones there. Let's move to study number 16, best Nitro track introduced to Mario Kart Tour in 2023. We have some cities, Rome, Madrid, Athens, even a Paris battle track, which Carlos knows really well, and Singapore, Bangkok. But we also have some really cool new ones, Piranha Plant Cove, 1, 2, and 3, Piranha Plant Slide, Yoshi's Island, Squeaky Clean Sprint, and then, of course, everyone's favorite, Vanilla Lake 2 Remix version. Best Nitro Track, what do you guys think?
Actually, I think it will be a race between Squeaky Clean Sprint and Yoshi's Island.
Mhm.
And I think the winner will be Yoshi's Island, even though Squeaky Clean Sprint has the amazing toilet extra box. But Yoshi's Island is it's just a great track and a great track set.
Yeah, given what we just read about Yoshi's Island winning the soundtrack, I think that'd be the front runner. You can't expect me to know the difference between, like, for example, Athens-2 and Athens-3. I'm just not built like that. I don't know the difference.
I think it would have made more sense if you just said Athens in general.
Yeah, because Rome was really fun. Athens was awesome. Bangkok was incredible. Bangkok's probably my favorite city track, but whatever. It wasn't really debuted this year.
Like, you have some cities where one variant is clearly inferior. You know, like, if you look at, like, Amsterdam, for example, 2 sucks, 3 is awesome. You know, like, 1 is okay. And everybody knows. I mean,
yeah, people could say in the comments right now. They'll correct me. I'm just. My personal brain is not built to remember them very well.
Mm-hmm. I'll say sprints.
Okay. I'll go Yoshi's Island. Final answer.
Okay. Study for Best Nitro Track set introduced to Mario Kart Tour in 2023 goes to Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi domination.
Squeaky Clean in second, and then
I can't wait till that tour comes back.
It was great. It was
and Squeaky Clean Sprint second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Pipeline. Okay.
We have Best Battle Track of 2023. Last year was Twilight House. This time we got
so many new great ones this year.
Can we skip that?
All one of them.
What do you guys think it is? And then we can move forward.
I guess Twilight House again. Yeah, boring. Yeah.
Twilight House. Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
What?
Should have renamed this the least annoying battle track of 2023.
Actually, I wanted a battle track was in last place. I would say battle track is at least top 3, better than Paris and New York.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
But they all suck, so.
That's fair. That's fair too. All right. Best tour of 2023. A lot to unpack. I put a lot of detail in here because some of the complaints was that we, I don't remember what came out in these tours. So this is so tough. I'm just picking names of things. So I included maybe the top new track.
Can you read everything for us?
Oh my gosh! Everyone who
watch every tour reaction that we all did.
I have a montage here.
It's like Carlos says. Carlos's line. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast. There's no way I'm going to remember this. But okay, I'll try. I will try. I will say that the back-to-back of Night Tour and Pipe Tour were great, and then Yoshi Tour. So those 3, I think, would be top contenders. I'm just going to say Yoshi Tour is going to sweep this whole awards.
I think also Yoshi Tour, yeah. Because we just had Yoshi's Island twice in a row. And
Poochie.
That's what is cool. Poochie, yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, I'm Yoshi Tour all the way, but I just was like, this is my personal bias creeping in, and I'm not, like, taking what the community is into account. But given the last 2 categories, I mean, I think there's no other choice but to say Yoshi Tour was really the high point of 2023.
Yeah.
Okay. Study for Best Tour of 2023 goes to, you guys nailed it, Yoshi's Tour.
Wow.
A very close second, though, was the Night Tour.
Oh, what Night Tour?
Which, Sammy and I, you remember that one. That's where I was there.
Yeah, you and I were hanging out, dude.
Yeah, so it actually was pretty close. So all things being said, it was within about 5% of each other. So big ups to the Night Tour, which unfortunately Brett and I had a fair chance with so many Yoshi fans voting this year for what it's worth.
Raycom's going to be loving this.
Yes. Moving forward, the study for Gamechanger of 2023, most of the time the Gamechanger is a positive one that we get really excited about. Some of these, though, were some big gaffes in the game, some big glitches or big depressing moments in the game. But Gamechanger of 2023, we had the loop mode, which is now where we're talking about year 5, where there's no new items or tracks introduced. We have the Mii suits, the base points going through a whopping 2,250 points if you have them all and have quad capped them. You have the battle mode glitch hack, where players were entering multiplayer and using mushrooms to boost other players' scores before Nintendo could address the flaw. They obviously have since addressed that, so don't try to go in there and try to do it. It's no longer available. Obviously, it broke the game for like those that month or whatever it was. And then we have Gold Mario, who has an ability, or whatever you want to refer to it, where he has this coin vacuum built in addition to his Fire Flower skill. And then someone nominated repeating ACR badges, and then the reverse race, which is kind of a fun new twist that they added there that we may or may not have been expecting. So what do you guys think? Game changer of 2023.
You left off the two biggest that anyone could have ever nominated. The two biggest game changers. One, fixing Daisy's cross eyes.
Oh my god.
Number two, the pop art camera filter.
Ruining Daisy's cross eyes.
No, I was looking back and they made this big announcement about a new filter. I was like, why did they even do that? No, I go loop mode. I mean, I think it's
what
so
else
big.
what else?
Yeah, what else is there?
I mean, it's the end of the game, right?
The game ending. Even though it's not ending. It's not.
I like loop mode. I'm enjoying the game like more than ever right now because number one, I don't have to spend like 6 hours every tour updating my spreadsheets and stuff. I just do add the new buffs and that's it. It's done. And also, I don't have to like worry about getting a track where like my only top shelves are like White Birdo and Toadette Astronaut or something. It's great. Like I think loop mode is a lot of fun, but it's definitely the biggest change to the game. So I don't think there's any way that there's any other winner.
Yeah, I think also loop mode, and I also like it a lot because you can use your tickets, no matter if you're like free to play and don't have that many or a whale, you can use them, and it's not the question, is it a good investment or not, because you kind of know what's coming. And if you go a little bit deeper in it, you could know in how many rank ups you get that driver or Kato glider. So for me, I also have more fun because I don't need to worry about, okay, is there another super driver coming I need to save my tickets for or not? And questions like just not. So I see it definitely positive. And I could also imagine to have those two we had like for another couple of years, maybe even from the very start. Maybe we get 12 cuts back. That would be my wish. So loop mode it will be probably.
And again, Game Changer can be negative or positive. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative. I kind of paint it as a negative because it's kind of like what the community, they've just kind of lost a lot of steam. And I agree with you, both of you. I actually think it's it's a lot of fun to be able to use those investments and to see these tracks again that I haven't seen in a long time. But the community has spoken. It is year 5. Loop mode won pretty substantially, over 60%. No surprise there. Now the question I have for you. Which is the biggest change to the game? Is it this year's winner of loop mode or last year's winner of the removal of the gotcha pipes? Which was a bigger change?
I actually think the removal of the pipes is bigger.
Yeah.
Sammy, any thoughts?
Yeah.
You agree too?
Yeah, I put it this way. If we still had gotcha pipes, I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know if you'd see as many players like retiring as you're seeing right now. But at the same time, I guess people have what they want.
Bad, the gotcha was like super addictive, you know? The gambling, the RNG, the variance.
It kind of started started the fading away of a lot of community members.
Right, absolutely. And there's also a lot of strategy. Hey, what are the probabilities?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many rubies do you need to save up to go into this? What is a smart play? What is the right strategy? When you at the spotlight shop, it's like, is this worth 100 rubies or not? Or is this driver worth 150 rubies? You know, like that's basically, there's no meta game about the spotlight shop. It's just, there's an item there, and look, it's better. You just get what you want, but it's definitely less interesting, less stressful, and requires less analysis.
Some could say it was the beginning of the end. But we got a lot of great stuff in between. But yes, I agree with you there. Number 20, Best Supporting Actor of 2023. The resource / tool you relied on the most this year. Now, I personally could say every single person on this category in this category deserves a huge award. Each one of the people on this list and the people behind it put in a lot of work, dedicated a lot of time and energy to bring these resources to the community. And for that reason, each one of you deserves to win an award. So congratulations to you all. Thank you all for your service. Thank you guys all for everything you've done for the community. But we did put this out for a vote to the community just to find out which resource people used the most. What do you guys think won and was used the most this year?
I think DKR, ACR spreadsheet. I mean, you just use it every single tour. That's literally the only thing. Like even my own tracker, I didn't fill out every single tour, but I used the ACR spreadsheet every single tour.
Last year, by the way, the inventory trackers did win. They had over 25% advantage over the MKT toolbox, which was about 18%, and then we had ACR tool behind that, and then the top 10 from Antlev right behind that. Pretty neck and neck, both of those, number 3 and number 4. So you guys are saying, I hear DKR.exe spreadsheet. What did you say, Carlos?
So besides that, I just ask Antilaf what to do. I would also go with the ACR spreadsheet. Like for me, it's the easiest to use. I mean, I don't use the sheets at the moment a lot since, like, for rank I just use my tickets and I don't go for ACR. But if I would go for it, I would use the ACR spreadsheet.
We need an option for we need an option for Ask Antlev. Ask a turtle dude.
Definitely.
I want to give a special shout out to Ticket Optimizer though, because that is a newer tool that's become more in use this year, and it is an absolute game changer. But only if you're going for ACR.
While we're on shout-outs, I do want to give a shout-out to my boy Larry98 for putting together the MKT sheets. Everything you see on the rundown essentially was one way or another produced by Larry98 through Alberto. So thank you very much, Larry. Appreciate everything you've done. So there's my shout-out. But Sammy, you were going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to make sure.
Well, just like I said last year, this one really not a competition. This is a celebration of all these. We all use multiple, well, except Carlos. We all use multiple of these. But personally, I'll give a little shout out to Frenzy Fans Calculator. It's simple. It's detailed data on what you want for a specific race. DKR sheet does this as well, but this goes in a little more detail, and that's what I use most. But yeah, the trackers are still kind of the baseline. Like you got to have it. That DKR kind of essentials. But we'll see.
Okay. Well, the study for Best Supporting Actor of 2023 goes to the DKR.exe ACR spreadsheet. It was very competitive, though. Big win, though, for DKR, pretty close to about 17%, with next being the BAM and GURBS and other trackers, such as Antilev's. With behind that, the MKT Toolbox, the MKT sheets from Larry98, and then the top 10 algorithm from Antlev, of course, right behind that. So those are really kind of the top 5.
It's very dependent on like what server or micro community you're in, because I think a lot of the stud family uses DKR. I think a lot of there's Larry's and Sam and Turtle Dudes. They all have their little their peeps, and you kind of form little groups and use different resources depending on who you're hanging with.
It does depend if you also go for ACR or not. I mean, I would have used DKR specifically for ranked. I think it's even more simple than even the Frenzy Fans calculator for ranked. Even
I use it for ranked.
Yeah, but if you're doing all cup ranking every tour, like man, the DK.exe is invaluable. So
no, you have to. You really have to. I'm glad he took it last year. We had the trackers last year, and DKR should get it. Should get the award.
Yeah, good.
He's done so much.
Spread the wealth, so the rich don't get richer. All right, we have now reached that moment in the ceremony for the Hall of Fame. Again, this is something we've been talking about for a while. I debated about how to go about doing this, and instead of giving just one answer for someone to do the Hall of Fame, I actually did something unique. One of the settings in SurveyMonkey allows you to be able to stack rank and have put the best at the top and least at the bottom. And the way that they give out the points is that the one at the highest kind of like they weight each of the weights that you put into it. So if you give something 1, it gets a higher weight than 2 and a higher weight than 3, all the way down to all the way to the bottom. Now the hard part about this is because we included essentially the top 10 from the first award ceremony, the top 10 from last year's award ceremony, and really the top 10 from this award ceremony. It might not have been 10, it might have been 8 or something, but adding them all together, it could have been a little bit overwhelming. So I will say that there could have been people who got to this point and they said, this is too much work, or I don't know how to do this, or, this is, I'm going to just fill out the top 5 and then I'll just leave the rest the way that they are. That could have certainly, and if you look at the data, that could have had an impact on it. However, we do have, I'm so glad we did this. I don't think there's a better way to do this, in my opinion, other than narrowing down the list. But then, it's a Hall of Fame. It's got, you want to include as many as possible. So I debated really hard on this. I think I chose the right way to do it. But you guys tell me, do you think that was the best way to handle this? Would you have done it different?
Yeah, I mean, like I remember when I was pitching to you guys to do it originally, it was like, maybe you could just, whatever made the number 1 in the top 10 for pick a number, five times the number 1, then you're in the Hall of Fame, or something like that. But it just depends on how many people spend time with that survey and rank things. But I loved all the nominees that were there. You saw a lot of old legacy items. I saw some PGP and off-roaders and Black Great Sales, things that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I hope made it. Happy Ride, the Dry Bowser umbrella, like things like that. But then, the recent dominating things too. So, rather than us like predict it all just for the sake of time, it's like I'm just excited to see what's there, and we'll discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have your own personal now I will say, just if you look at the NFL, which is the greatest sport, especially here in America, but I think in the world, they have a Hall of Fame. They have a Hall of Fame, and there's not a specific number, but they have to, each person, they usually they have a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 8. And that person has to get 80% of the committee's votes. And so that's the way it works in the NFL, the greatest sport on the world. But here in, I want to kind of get that same range. It really, really sense to be able to cut it off at a specific pointage, which was 20 points. And so each one of these categories has between 4 and 8. So just curious from you, Sammy, somewhere between 4 and 8, what would you say are your Hall of Fame drivers?
It's almost like these are already slightly ranked, or am I just making that up? I mean, I think you probably put them in kind of in a rough, because I feel like the first 10 are kind of maybe not King Bum on Goal as sure, but then it's so hard because period. Yeah, a period. But if we had done this every year, then you could have a lot more people inducted over time. So there's gonna be people left off the Hall of Fame that a lot of people would think should be. For example, Mario King probably won't make it, but some people think he should be in there. Maybe. Question Buck Misu looks like he's kind of down there. I would say definitely Goldme, Meowser, yes. PGP and BP. Tydress, I guess so. I mean, everyone loves her. She's done so well with the award. Charged Gold Chuck and Bowser Santa. I might draw the line there. Or maybe I'll throw in Shy Guy Ninja in there.
Toad Astronaut. Also, like, it's so hard because there's so many drivers that they had an amazing value like 4 years ago, or 2 years ago, like a certain part of
periods
all the time. And then they either fell off or they kept being good, like Gold Chuck, for example. Like Meowser, still good, but by far not as good as Gold Chuck. But for me, Meowser is a very well driver. One of my favorites also because of his design. I really love him. I don't know if he's not the greatest driver or one of the greatest drivers. It's so hard. It's
hard to compare.
PGP is definitely a all-time best driver probably.
Yeah,
but right now she's not that crazy good.
Yeah.
Maybe also because of the meat suit. So because of that, the gold meat suit and probably the question mark block meat suit might be definitely the top 2. Oh, it's so hard.
Now here's the thing: is you have with the Hall of Fame, you have to think about it like in sports. You have an era, and that era, it's how dominant someone was, and for how long. How long was their career?
Yes.
How long were they able to sustain their greatness? And so I put that description. It's not here, but I put it in the survey to make sure people remove some of their favoritism bias and thought about how dominant was this thing in its era, and trying to
recency bias.
It's so hard to compare eras from eras, and that's why in the NFL, they have a new nominees for the Hall of Fame, they have so every year you're bringing people in. So it would have been perfect, ideally, if we were doing this every year, we could just bring in 2 or 3 each year, and then those Hall of Fame are compared to past Hall of Fame. But we're here at the end of my Mario Kart Tour YouTube channel career, and it's a little late to saying what we should have or shouldn't have done. But I want to make sure that's really important as everyone's looking at is what things are the most dominant for the longest period of time.
Yes.
Why is Peach Wedding on there, by the way?
She actually
was a ranked monarch. She was a ranked monarch.
Yeah.
I mean, but no Fire Rosalina, no Tanuki Rosalina, no Peach Explorer. I mean, I'm thinking of all the non-plus skill drivers that had their little.
For this category, I took what were some of the top
ones.
What was
the other one? DK Jr., SNES DK Jr.
Oh, DK Jr. Yeah, he should be in this. At least in this list here. Yeah.
DK.
Yeah.
He was not.
Yeah, DK Jr.
He was not.
Remember all his rank? It's kind of like the Black Birdo, the Peach Explorer, Peach Wedding, Pauline Rose, all the non-plus.
Yeah, so they
it's
were
hard though to put a non-plus in the Hall of Fame. You got to be really, really, really good.
The thing is, there was a time when I would put Black Yoshi on this list because there was a time when he was absolutely dominant. Yeah. You had a meta period where you didn't necessarily need to have a plus skill to. And I think we forget, back in the day, Santa Bowser, we look at him as an all-time great coin box driver because at the time he came out at a very first Nitro track. He only had 16 top shelves when he first came back. He did not have a lot of tracks. And you compare that to some of the non-plus skill drivers who had a lot more tracks than that. So we're talking about Penguin Luigi, Black Yoshi, those kind of drivers who had way more tracks. It was more of a question of do you want to go broad or do you want to go deep? And for a lot of people who weren't whales, weren't spending money, there was no choice but to go for the broad. So this is going way back. This is going back to 2020 and maybe early 2021 where we didn't quite realize how much more potential the plus skills had.
Yeah. I would even say that Boomerang, bro.
Yeah.
He was the first real boombox driver we used.
And the first one
was Baby Mario, actually.
Toad, baby.
Well,
that's what's great about Hall of Fame discussion.
That's one problem of the game. We have too many items. So it's just too hard to choose between all of them.
We will have to let the fans debate our results for the decades to come.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think about handling this Hall of Fame. It was tough, guys, but we do have 4 winners who were above that 20-point mark. So the Hall of Fame inductees forever are Gold Me Racing Suit, Daisy Tie Dress, Meowser, and Gold Charging Chuck.
Dang.
That's fair.
I'll take that.
So this is the way it worked out, guys. So you had 4 that were substantially higher than any of the others.
Yeah.
And there were some.
I think there's some recency bias, so the Pink Gold Peach didn't get in. I'm not even a
PGP was 5th.
fan.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people who were around back then aren't around now, and a lot of people who are around now.
Yes, exactly.
Era
to era, I don't know if Tie Dress beats PGP, but I get it.
And Peach
I get it.
Yeah.
So to your point, though, you guys were bringing up, let's say, DK Jr. SNES, which was a VAL nomination. Black Yoshi, again, these guys weren't on our any of the past award ceremonies, but let's say Black Yoshi, you guys tossed that out. Would you have put Black Yoshi over, let's just say the top 8? So over these 4 that won and were moved into the Hall of Fame, or Peach Vacation, Pink Gold Peach, King Bob Gold, Santa Bowser. And then you see their question block head is right there too.
Essentially.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can.
But I would definitely put Black Yoshi over like Larry Wintertime or Gold Mario, it just in his time he was more relevant than these newer drivers are in their time.
Yeah. One thing I will say, just the lowest of all of them is not the one on the end. To kind of play devil's advocate with what we mentioned before, which is that people just kind of left it alone and just kind of didn't bother. But Mario Samurai, which is kind of like right there, 2/4 of the way down the list, was actually the lowest, even lower than Gold Mario. But that and he was a great potential. Great, he looked great. He has top skill. He has everything working for him, except for he just got the wrong track. So I actually have to give that's a great one.
He had an insane amount of overlap with Meowser, and he came out when we were at the peak of Meowser mania. Like he was it just come out a few months later. We start to see this buffs develop. And like, holy shit, he just keeps getting tracks. Like we didn't have a Coinbox driver with like more than 20 tracks, and he had like 25 or something like that. It was insane. And then Mario Samurai was getting all the same tracks, and it's like, okay, or I could do Coinbox, which is chill, or I could do Boomerang, which is, me personally, I like it, but.
Well, that's one example where I have to give kudos to the community where, they really showed that they're paying attention. Like was he great? Does he look great? Yes. But, he came out and was not dominant for a very not long period of time. That's following the directions to a T. So shout out to the stud fam on that one. But yeah, we probably talk about this list forever, but any major takeaways, guys?
No, that's fine.
It's a good four. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, good. All right, now that we've gotten the explaining the process of the Hall of Fame out of the way, let's talk about greatest karts of all time. We've got some good ones on this list. Of course, we had to put some of the winners from past at the top. So we do have Black Turbo Birdo, which, as you know, it won our first award ceremony. But for what it's worth, we got a lot of old ones, including Purple Bunny and Happy Ride, and then we have obviously some other newer ones too. So what do you guys think here? Hall of Fame greatest karts of all time.
Can you tell us how many made it?
Yes, there were 5.
Okay, 5.
I think it's pretty easy.
Oh,
okay,
it's easy. Okay.
I would go with Yellow Off-Roader.
Yes.
Blazing Eagle.
Yeah, it's going to make it in. I don't think it should.
Probably cut in because it's my favorite. But no.
Nice.
I don't know. Like Silver King was for Silver King, yeah.
Silver King kind of has to be.
What? Ramble Runner? But probably.
I think.
So the thing is, Blooper Shot is better than Ramble Runner, I would say. But Ramble Runner was just like one really cool card, which also appeared, let's say, quite early. Was a very huge card. Had a good value in DK Pass.
We didn't have so many big cards back when that came out.
On the other side, Mumu Off-Roader is also on the list. And that's I think people vote more for things which are also used right at the moment.
I think there's maybe a lot more recency bias in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Blazing Eagle making it, that alone is recency bias. I'm sorry.
Original Crawley card was...
I would even say original Off-Roader, I would even say.
And I mean, for me personally, as somebody who is a big fan of the Mark IIs and who invested very, very early in the B-Dash of Mark II, for me, that's, if I think about best card of all time, it's got to be that one, I
would love to see that make a surprise appearance. Mark II.
You nominated it, didn't you?
No. The true test of if people are going true legacy database will be if Black Turbo Birdo makes it in, because that one card of the year, just like Black Birdo won driver of the year. But I don't know if it'll make it. We'll see.
Okay. Anyone want to add any that weren't already mentioned? Feel pretty good about those?
I would say is good. The Rose Queen was really popular for a while. That's going way back, but yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get to the Hall of Fame greatest karts of all time. We have 5 inductees that include Yellow Off-Roader, Blazing Eagle.
Ooh, what a 5.
Oh, okay.
Cupid Zero made it. That's a good 5.
Yeah, Carlos, you were very close, man. I think you pretty much nailed
blue
it.
Crawley. I got like, that's a 3.5
good.
because I said a Crawley and not a blue one.
Yeah,
That's a
so
good five,
yellow
yeah.
off-roader.
Ramby just missed.
Ramby
That's
did.
pretty cool.
Ramby
Was it
did just
Remy?
miss.
Oh, yeah.
19%.
Black Terror Bird did well. Armored Rider did really well.
Yeah, Armored Rider is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prop card. Not a
Nice.
lot of
I
fans
like
for the
five.
prop. What's that?
Yeah.
I
Those are
like
good.
the 5. I maybe have gone original Crawley just for old school legacy factor, but the fact that that one from the family made it, the families are all really represented, so that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah. We talked about that a lot the last couple of years. There was kind of one of a family that just dominated substantially more than the rest. But we've certainly had exceptions. But it's nice to see one of a couple as compared to two off-roaders or something else in there. I like it. Good guys. But prop card really low. We did have not so high for the Booper shuttle. Maybe it was because it was towards the end and people didn't see it. I do like the rotating hats, Carlos. I do appreciate that. Have to give a shout out there. All right, Hall of Fame. For the last Hall of Fame class here, we have greatest gliders of all time, guys. What do you think?
Wow.
We got a lot of good ones.
I know Hard Hat did really well this year, and it was like a contender for Glider of the Year, but I hope it doesn't make it to the Hall of Fame. 8-bit one of
Lava Rock's got on this list, but not on the best glider.
Yeah.
That's weird. That is weird.
It was
We all
nominated.
agree 8-bit,
Yeah.
8-bit one of are locked, and Wonderful Wings is locked. We have to
And
agree.
Wonderful Wings, yeah, for sure.
Dragon Wings was so good for
Dragon-
such a long
yes.
time.
I think
But-
Golden Wings.
But a lot of
kinda
people
had-
will have forgotten about it. That's why
Yeah.
it might be not.
You know what? You know what
But
else has
you're
to be on their
right.
Black Great Sale. Black Great Sale absolutely
It does.
has to be well known.
Yes, Black Great Sale
Where is it?
has to be.
Is it on
Black
the list?
Great
I don't
Sale.
see it.
Right side.
Okay, yeah.
I'm-
Because I was about to
that,
say.
that will show if the voters are old school and really know the history of the game.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I think there was first Dragon Wings and then the Black Red Sail, right? It was pretty much the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of those. Yes.
time.
Those were the past two
Yeah.
winners of the award.
Silver
ceremony.
Starship was also an amazing glider.
It was great.
What a long time.
Dry Bowser had his time too.
Also,
What do people
Oh,
want
Dry
right
Bowser
now?
Umbrella. Dream Glider is a
figured out
sleeper.
green shuttle gliders were shit.
I
But
don't
no,
think
you're
people
right.
will
Dry
vote
Bowser-
still for that.
I still use Dry Bowser on a couple tracks. It's
I
not
use it all the
disappeared.
time.
Dude, yeah, I mean,
Pretty
I think
glider.
that should be in, personally.
Yeah.
Dry Bowser, Black Great Sail, 8-bit Wonderful Wings,
I think
and throw
Golden
in a
Wings
new one.
and the
Like
Light Flight should have a honorable mention as well, because there was definitely a period for both of those gliders where they were like number one,
Yeah.
and not even like number one neck and neck, but like a very, very clear number one with some distance between
Right.
them and number two. Like they were like
Yeah.
the meta gliders at a certain point. Golden Wings and Light Flight.
Yep.
Now here's the thing: like gliders are very different. I mean, I think with karts, like you have size, you have and drivers, you have the skill. With gliders, it's just like it's like
Pure
really just about coverage and what it meant to you, and the meta really kind of ran the show. So I do think that there is maybe a little less love for your own individual item as there was for maybe karts and drivers. But this is a good list. I mean, I know I would have put Black Ray Sail at the top of my list. As I felt like it was probably the most dominant of all dominants. But of course, that's that's me, and I think we could probably make up our own list. But the community has spoken. The inductees for greatest gliders of all time include 8-bit, One Up Mushroom,
made it
Wonderful
in.
Wings, yeah,
Wonderful
okay.
Wings,
2 gems.
2 gems, and
Okay.
the Yellow Hard Hat. So there could have been some recency bias to this.
Yeah, Black Great Sail absolutely should have been
this-
here.
this is
You guys
recency
don't know your
bias.
history.
This is a
You
recency
don't know your
bias.
history.
No.
This is
Yeah.
definitely
Go back
some
and watch
recency
all of
bias.
our year one.
All those new players.
But you can look back.
And
You can,
you know what's really disappointing? 8-bit Star isn't even on the list. That was the first
should be.
8-bit glider, and it was a great one.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
you
So
can't.
I
You
mean,
can't.
I know the
Hey,
Yellow Hearted
what
might be
about-
quite
guys.
okay, but I don't get this as the best glider ever.
No.
What
Yeah,
about
I
Gold
agree.
Glider? Do you guys remember back in the
Gold
day?
Glider, dude. Gold
Gold
Glider
Glider.
absolutely is Hall of Fame. It
There
absolutely
wasn't even it wasn't even a debate. It was like this
No
is
debate.
the only glider you need. This is the number
No,
one glider in the game.
It
There
is.
was a time where we
It is.
thought that coin bonus is the best bonus in the game.
No, but I mean, but you're talking. It's like we're talking about relative, like PGP, stuff like that. It's like it really
In
should have
its
been like
time,
the
yeah.
first Hall of Fame glider that ever would be inducted. So this is the most controversial selection to me.
And that's fair. I will say that you can kind of see from the blips. Obviously, if you kind of step away, it does kind of slant all in one direction. But you have some that stick out. A good one would be Dry Browser Umbrella. It sticks out substantially higher than all those on the bottom right. You have Black Right Sail sticking out above 4 or 5 around it. Black Starshoot even above some of those. Candlelight Flight. I will say the Dragon Wings was really low, lower than I thought it would be. I thought it would be, kind of an all-time number, top 5 because of back in the day. But it does also, we kind of talk about recency bias, but there's also probably a lot of players that are new to the game that are, don't know what Dragon Wings. They just that's a glider.
And it's also like the whole year 5, like what's valuable in the end. It's not that stuff in the end.
Right. Exactly.
So that is it. The recency bias actually has some merit.
You did it a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Most controversial, maybe. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this Hall of Fame. Did we handle it appropriately? I tried to. I mean, the Survey Monkey was relatively easy. You can drag and drop, but it is. People might have also gotten some fatigue after doing that 3 times. And maybe just said, this is fine enough. I got my 5 and moving on. But there's definitely some recency bias, though. But that doesn't look beautiful, though. Those are some good-looking gliders, I'll tell you that. And then last but not least, this is the last study of the night, Best Community Moment of 2023. Now, I will read all these because each one of these were awesome moments. But we had Koopa V using data mining to reveal upcoming tour items. Could have also been maybe a game changer of the year as well, as we got to see items before they came out. There's someone nominated a Bowserless Oreo time and amazing streams from Frenzy fans. Sammy D of Carlight reacts to Gold Mario's skill or ability.
I had to look up what my reaction was. I was just stunned at the fire flower, I think is what it was.
Carlos 85.
I'm so annoyed I didn't predict Fire Flower because I was thinking, I was just like, I need to stop being a hipster and being like,
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, you can't stop being a hipster. That's ingrained in you, man. Carlos 85's epic ACR streams. Puffy comes to Germany and takes shots with Carlos on stream. That was fun as well.
That's good.
Stuffy comes to
Not
visit.
allowed to talk about that.
Stuffy comes to visit Sammy D for the DK Gladiator Tour reaction. That was my personal best.
That was fun, man.
That was a lot of fun. Shy Guy Kart reacts to Exploration Tour with 2 Shy Guy alts. Kevin Garrett returns to finally get his DK alt that he's been longing for with DK Gladiator. The Stud fan members achieving top 10 and sharing their experience on Kart Talk, which was one of my top ones as well. Just a fun experience, just hearing everyone's and what they went through. The Shrooming 2.0 players exploiting the battle mode in multiplayer, and then StudFit celebrating his YouTube retirement on a final episode of Kart Talk with Sammy D and Antilev just last month, episode 60. So what do you guys think here? Now, of course, we all might have our own favorites that may or may not include our own experiences, but what do you think the community voted?
I can imagine a shrooming because a lot of people that play together then and try to glitch out and play together, open the lobbies. They have written more in the Discord servers, so I think that there was definitely a part for the community. Like, no matter if that was a good thing for the game or not at the end, but I had the feeling in that time more people played together with each other. And actually, we used battle mode. We had more fun in battle mode than ever, probably.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say like it was some of the most fun they've ever had in the game, just getting together and shrooming with each other. So, but also Koopa V, there could be some hype around the Koopa V.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Koopa V. I mean, obviously we're a bit past it now since there's like nothing new coming out. But when he was doing it, that was like, hey, what time is Koopa V doing his premiere of his new video? When are we gonna? That was the thing, and that was
it wasn't
like,
even what it wasn't even
get
the
together and
video
watch.
was like,
I mean, like you had streamers streaming.
I was streaming him,
premieres,
absolutely.
Like, that's how. I mean, for me, I think that was the most,
hype. Yeah, it wasn't even
hype,
It wasn't even when is he going to do a video. It was like if Koopa V typed something in any server, there would be screenshots of just the thing he said going around like wildfire on all the servers.
Absolutely.
Like that's how much anticipated. Because he's a goated. I mean, we've had a lot of amazing data miners, but the dude is goated. He made and he made it fun. He made it fun for everyone, even if you didn't like the surprise being ruined.
All right, well, the study for Best Community Moment of 2023 includes so many winners here. Koopa V using data mining to reveal the upcoming items. So there we go. Pretty big win. Yeah.
Dude, we got second, dude.
We got second, Sammy. Virtual high five.
That was
here.
fun. I mean, you have to admit, that was a great surprise reveal. We worked hard on that.
We did. All right.
We got a gift out of it.
We did. It was people will still criticize my contribution to the gift. They said it was fake, but that was definitely real. I was not expecting Boomerang, but anyway, it was a blast. We had a good time, and we also played multiplayer against each other. Remember who won that?
It was debated for decades.
Well, maybe we'll never know. We do have. We also wanted to put together a Lifetime Achievement Award. Last year, Larry98 won it for his contributions to the community. I also have a honorable mention of Alberto, who's been helping us and such a huge servant to the community. But I have to give the Lifetime Achievement Award as I wrap up this channel to you. The Stud Fam. Thank you guys for all the memories. This is my Lifetime Achievement Award from StudFit to the Stud Fam. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love over the last 2.5 years of having this channel. And thank you also to you guys who have joined us on some of these award ceremonies, and to you also, Antilev, who joined me on the rundowns. I couldn't have done it without you guys. And thank you just for your contributions to the community. So thank you to you, and all you at home. And with that being said, there are 2 mystery slides here for Sammy to take over.
We're actually not done with the awards, so why don't you see what you got there?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click the next slide. 3, 2, 1.
All right, last but not least, one final award. The journey would not have been the same if this valuable and amazing person had not been creative and pursued the chase. There's no Mario Kart without this person, Mario Kart Tour. We thank him for bringing the best and always delivering his all to the community. That's why we have the honor to present the next Lifetime Achievement Award to StudFit. Dude, we had to give it up to you because we wouldn't even have the rundown. We wouldn't be beating the pipe. We wouldn't be here on the video. And you've done so much for us. Alberto put this slide together at my request. Antilev and I had the idea, and Carlos joined in. And we hereby give you the Lifetime Achievement Award. So congrats, Stud.
I appreciate that. That's very sweet. I love the collage. Thank you guys very much. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. And like I said, the memories that you guys created with me will last forever. And man, this was such a fun experience. It's been a blast. I couldn't people talked about gaming communities as being negative, but you guys have been very positive. The Stud Fam's very, very positive. The community as a whole has been extremely positive. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate the Lifetime Achievement Award. That I'm very humbled by this experience, but thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. And that concludes the award ceremony. Any last comments? What do you guys think about the award ceremony? Was this fun?
Of course.
Absolutely. I would miss it. That's always a nice thing for the end of the year.
It's really nice to be here on the 31st of December. And
it's the last video on your channel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
So we will miss it, man. I will miss the rundowns. Still got buffs to unfurl, but Carlos on his channel is going to still be going. I'm going to still be going, and Antilev hopefully will still be going and streaming as well. So we're going to keep it going, and hope to see you around. Who knows? Okay. But no, it's bittersweet, man. But thanks for doing this. These awards have been really fun. And,
hey, don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened.
There you go.
It was a good
Absolutely.
one,
Thank you. That's a lot.
I've enjoyed every second of it.
Awesome, guys.
Of course.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. With that being said, until forever, may the frenzy luck be with you. See you guys.